Ball, dunks.
Look at Strong running the floor out in front.
Yeah. Welcome to Spaces. All right, UConn 93, Xavier 68. The Huskies improve to 28-4 on the season, 17-3 in the Big East. With a big quarterfinal win tonight in Madison Square Garden in New York City. Lots of contributions tonight. Great bounce back from the other day. 3 Huskies scoring in double figures. Solo Ball leading the way with 19 points tonight. Terrace Reed with a killer night on the glass, 14 boards for him. Jaden Ross with a sage performance tonight. We're going to talk a lot about that and a little bit of everything tonight. And Hurley Mania, how are we feeling after tonight?
Feeling great. It's funny. Right before they start the game, Allison Williams is talking to the team and the players, before the game. And it reminded me of what you said Saturday night about modern college athletes. And I want to be clear, these are all great kids, but like they always are so media trained. They say the right things. And she talked about Terrace saying that like he had a fire like he's never had before after that loss Saturday. And your thought is,
yeah,
all right, let's see it. And they went out there and they showed it. And then, 7 minutes into the game, Silas picks up his second foul on a complete horseshit call, like an all-time lock jump ball. That's called a second foul on him. And your thought, and UConn's up 9, and it's been a good start, but it's like, well, we've wanted to see Silas play fewer minutes, and we're going to get it now, because then Malachi had to carry the load. And man, he was great for the rest of the half. And I think tonight really was, Terrace was good, obviously, but really it was the best game of the year, I thought by far, that Solo has played. Solo was great. And Jaden was sensational. But also I want to give some love to, Malachi, who was, I thought, really productive, and most of his minutes was really good. And it allowed UConn to just, for the third time this year, throw Xavier around like a rag doll. That team is not remotely equipped to handle this UConn team. And the best thing to happen to them is they don't have to see UConn for like 200 days. It's just going to be a weight off their shoulders. And a wonderful first half performance. A little sleepy start to the second half. Disappointing, but not not really anything that was going to cost them. They kick it back into gear, and UConn pulls away for a dominant 25-point win, the sort of win that we've struggled to see them have it this year, except against Xavier. But, great performance, great night, going to enjoy it. And it was just, we saw so many different things, I think, hot balls too, partially because of the foul trouble that we haven't seen before in terms of combinations and kind of ways they were attacking things. I liked when Xavier went to a 2-3 zone at one point when UConn had Jaden and Malachi as the backcourt, and then Solo Ball was the guy who went to the foul line, which was never a thing you would think would happen.
Yeah.
But it resulted in a 3. So I thought that was not an ideal way to attack it, but it worked out. There was a sequence when they were throwing doubles at Terrace in the second half, and Terrace gets it on the low block, gets the double, and then dribbles out to the 3-point line, but throws a great pass. Then there's a secondary pass, and they get Alex, I believe, wide open on the other side. So it was just great to see these guys kind of solve the different riddles tonight defensively with, the zone that Xavier threw at them and the doubles at Terrace. And, his decision making was a lot quicker. We've said this 1,000 times. That leads to Terrace playing great. We saw it again tonight. 19 points from Terrace, 4 rebounds, only played 25 minutes. That was Solo's line. Solo, 19 points, 4 rebounds in 25 minutes. He was great. Terrace, 17 points, 14 rebounds. Should have had 20, 25 rebounds, but whatever. He was great. And Jaden Ross, man, just to see this kid, it's the perfect time of year for it. He's taking the opportunity on the biggest stage. They know they don't have Jalen Stewart for the rest of the Big East tournament, with the knee ailment. And he was sensational. Defensively, he was great. And that keyed the whole thing as he ends up in 22 minutes, finishing with 9 points, 4 rebounds. Just a great night for Jaden, and also a great night for Solo and Terrace.
Yeah, I thought the real story of tonight was Mally and Jaden, to be honest with you. I mean, that's Mally's best game, and I can't even remember how long. And I thought he looked good tonight. I think, being surrounded by the starters helps a little bit, obviously, but like, those are just minutes they've needed from him really all year. And then, just to keep Silas off the floor, I was tweeting around about it at halftime. If Mally was going to play like this tonight, you got to think about maybe giving Silas an extended night off. Maybe keeping him around 15 minutes, which they didn't. They rolled him out there for 22. No harm, no foul. But, I thought Mally was great tonight in a way they really needed him to be. I thought the whole bench was really great. I thought Jaden, Eric, Mally all give you what he wanted. And Jaden Ross tonight, can we just talk about this?
I will. So go ahead.
I don't know how you do it. This is not the time of year to fuck with rotations, but I want to mess with rotations.
It all looks so much better.
Everything looks so much better, and it doesn't matter what the combination is. It was a discussion in the Discord. It's like, well, who do you sit? I don't care. I legitimately don't care. Anybody. I mean, the whole thing looks so much better, and the biggest difference is just is the defensive side of the equation. His ability to get through screens, his length plays up. They rebounded a completely different clip, it feels like, when he's on the court. And it's not even just the loose balls that he gets to, his own rebounding. I think he had 4 tonight, but just his physical presence, his ability to tip the ball in the air, keep balls live, like get out in transition. He's so explosive. I feel like he's starting, we've talked about sort of the ebb and flow of this team really all year. I feel like Jaden is the one guy that's like really rounding out into form here, later in the season. And I just thought everything looked great tonight. I mean, he ended up having 9 points tonight, ended with 3 assists, ended up with 3 steals, ended up with 4 rebounds, and it felt like a whole lot more than what was on the stat sheet. So, it's getting harder to keep him off the floor. I would like to see him out there. They had him on the court tonight for 23 minutes. I'd be fine.
Jaden played 22 minutes.
Yeah. Did he? Okay. Yeah. 23. Yeah, you're right. So yeah, I mean, I'd be totally comfortable with him at 25 minutes a game now. Maybe.
Yeah. I think the biggest difference with him, we always knew the defensive piece was there, but now it looks like, and a lot of it was transition, but fine. I'll take, he can create transition.
Good. We need transition buckets.
He can create transition better than anyone else on this team because he can play great defense and force steals, and he has the handle to go coast to coast with it. Now, he might do something weird at the basket, but he didn't tonight. And Silas, I expect to create transition, but Silas doesn't really like to straight line drive. Jaden's going to straight line drive. And I think the difference with him now is you're starting to see the offensive side unlock. And that's what Dan Hurley has talked about with him in the past. It's never been an issue defensively, but he needs to be participating offensively. And I don't mean scoring points, but it's my go-to trope. He just would stand on the corner a lot offensively. It looked like it was just he wasn't processing stuff. Tonight, he was processing everything offensively. He was finding spots, calling for lobs. And I mean, I joked that I was upset Silas didn't throw him a lob when he hit a 3, but in Silas's defense, Jaden never asks for the lob. He's usually in the corner and just stays there. Tonight, he wanted the lob. He was moving around great on screens on the perimeter. He was creating space. It was all this. It's like you can see him solving the equations. Watching this game tonight. And I pray that it isn't because they're playing a terrible Xavier team. It might be, but let's hope that it's not. Let's hope that this is a new level for him with an awareness that there are plenty of minutes for him this week and beyond. And that spot is there for him. And if he plays half like he did tonight, even against tougher competition, they're going to be fine. That's going to be the weapon that they need because it allows, 22 minutes of him. It impacts everybody else in the backcourt and the front court to some degree off the bench because they're going to need him for the size piece up front. I love that Alex tonight, who was fine tonight, was really solid. 15 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, no turnovers. Alex only played 29 minutes. They went with a lot of once the game really got up to 20, 25, they played Jaden a lot at basically at the 4 because, Xavier's going to bombs away on it anyway. And because they got you're hoping you play 3 games in 3 days and this bench, this is put up or shut up time for it. We've gone back and forth on this thing for 3.5 months because we know what it looks like when it's good and we know what it looked like on Saturday. And tonight we saw more of what it looked like when it was good. So just thrilled. I mean, Malachi playing 23 minutes and, he had 2 assists, 3 turnovers. 2 of the turnovers were really funny. so we can laugh about it. But as a team, UConn only had 10 turnovers. Only 3 in the first half. The first half, they looked incredible. The first half, poor Xavier.
Yeah.
UConn puts up 1.7 points per possession
That's
in the
brutal.
first half. And, yeah, it was a long way. Credit Xavier for the fight in the second half, but I was happy to also see UConn kind of, plug the brains back in after the first 5 minutes there and have a really solid finish. So, UConn able to kick the feet up a little bit in the stretch, and now we wait to see if they get an Ed Talk tomorrow, or in all likelihood they get Villanova.
Did you see the photograph of the Georgetown fan on the laptop, by the way?
I loved it. Lean into it. And people were taking pictures with him after that went viral. I thought he has a sense of humor about it. I'm all for it. Hey, he's the one that's getting paid to be at the Big East tournament. Credit to him. Like, it's pretty smart if he could pull it off. And the other fun thing that came out of the pregame, I don't know if you saw before this game, was a lower third FS1 used. Still hope for Ed Cooley era, which is where we are now. So yeah, UConn 93, Xavier 68, a fine performance all the way around. With one exception, I didn't think it was a great night for Braylon. He actually plays the most minutes, and I kind of get that. I thought it was funny. Braylon had a bit of a rough one in 33 minutes, 1 for 6 from 3, 4 for 9 from the field. But he had 3 blocks, 3 assists, no turnovers. So if that's the weekend of it, we're doing great here. And I am confident I thought Braylon's shot decisions tonight, though, were much better, a lot less going into business for himself. So I was happy with that. The shot just didn't go down. And if they're going to pull this, win 3-3, they're going to need him. They're going to really need everybody, especially if Saturday night is what we think it's going to be. So, Braylon, 33 minutes, the only player to play more than 30 minutes tonight, which is great to see. Alex played 29, Solo 25, Terrace 26. And a shout out for Eric Ryba, who only played 14, but you can dream on that footwork, man. I'm going to let me go off on Jaden Ross. I'll let you talk about Eric Ryba, who I don't think was sensational tonight, but man, those 3 field goals, when those feet get moving, it's special.
Dude,
stuff.
He's so great, especially, his pivot foot, something else, man. And he's just got great balance. He's got fantastic body control. He just does a little bit of everything. And he's getting a little grimier too. Like he's learned to kind of be a little bit more physical. I mean, look, dude, for 13 minutes, he scored 9 points. You end up with four rebounds tonight.
Stuff's crazy.
Yeah. And you end up, finding yourself a steal. Had a particularly great defensive rotation. Ended up being a Xavier 3 on the road. It was in the second half. I can't remember who he had in the corner, but a guy tried to dribble drive on him. He was able to cut him off, backed him up, tried to dribble drive on him again. He had a nice switch, kind of, slowed down a dribble drive coming into the lane, and then, was able to sort of, get some hands up on a contested 3 that got tipped back out for a 3. But some good stuff. I mean, like his perimeter defense it looks very good right now for a guy his size. So, look, I mean, this was tonight should probably be the blueprint. Like I think of how everybody would want, most of the games this season to go, like from a minutes distribution, scoring distribution, the offensive, the rebounding effort was certainly there. And like quietly, I think they've cleaned the rebounding thing up a little bit. Also tonight, they're great from the free throw line. 7 for 13 tonight, 84% from the line. So, that's cleaned itself up, a little bit as well, in spite of the 3 for 24 last week, against Marquette. Some of these issues, the last couple of games that have plagued them, minus the turnovers, seem to be pretty well cleaned up right now.
Yeah, I do think that the too much fouling thing really came up in the second half, but it's a 20-point game. It was more just annoying than there are games where that's been concerning. This wasn't concerning. It was annoying.
This is also a murderer's row of officials for this team, though.
Emphasis on
Potter and Breeding. That's like facing the Road Warriors for UConn. Like that is a squash match for officials. That is
not ideal.
fun.
And The good news is, so the refs can't work consecutive games. So we will not see, and I'm checking the ref crew for the Georgetown Nova game. So we know tomorrow night UConn will not have James Breeding, Matt Potter, or Nate Farrell, or the crew of the present game. Can you tell I'm stalling for this to open? They will not have John Gaffney, Jeff Clark, or Greg Evans. So
Okay.
a notorious BOC is absolutely incoming and inbound for tomorrow night's semifinal. He worked the St. John's game, so he can't work them. So,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
that's what
probably.
we'll get tomorrow. But yeah, tonight, other than, the free throw split, and we've talked about it till we're blue in the face. It's a problem, or it's a concern. It's, it helps that Xavier stinks at free throws. They were only 21 of 33 at the line, but UConn, the first half, the offensive rebounding especially was great. It wasn't good in the second half. The game was 25 at that point.
Mm.
But in the first half, UConn had 8-4 on offensive boards for the game. They out-rebound Xavier by 12. They kill them in the paint, 42-16, 12-6 fast break, which is great to see, and 24-23 off the bench. I don't know if this team UConn has had 24 bench points in the last 6 games combined. Maybe the Villanova game, but so that was just great to see the contributions across the board, and UConn cruises into the Big East semifinals, which has always been the difficult one because under Dan, are they like 1-5 in the Big East semifinals?
I believe we're 1-5. Yeah, I think it's yes, it's 1-5. But they've also been there 6 years in a row.
Yeah, and I'll be there tomorrow night. And I've never seen them win a semifinal. I've seen them win the title, so champagne problems. But yeah, this is the next one's always been the hard one. But in this case, and don't want to count, don't want to get too cocky, but like this is one tomorrow. It's like no excuses with whatever the matchup is here. Really, if it's not UConn St. John's on Saturday, somebody done fucked up. So
yeah,
we'll see. That's the thing. Like tonight's great, and I'm happy, but also it's like I want to see them stack this now because we've said it's hard to trust them, and they did tonight to a bad team what they're supposed to do and what they struggled to do at times this year, but they did not struggle with Xavier. They looked great in the second game against Villanova. They have struggled with Georgetown. I don't think it'll be Georgetown, but Georgetown's always given you Dan fits. Even Patrick Ewing did a little bit. So great one tonight. Glad that most of the players were able to, really reduce the workload. And, tomorrow night, man, at the Garden, it's really the best day of the calendar in a lot of ways for the Big East fan bases. So I'm just, feel fortunate that I'll be in there and did not have to give up a vital organ to be able to afford to be in the building.
Oh, look at you with all your connections.
Well,
Mr. Big Time.
Not
Nice
quite,
to have
but
friends.
Yeah, and that leads to, we'll get to it at the end of the show. I have no idea what time our show tomorrow is. I'm glad we get to have one. We'll see. We'll figure it out. But I'm just glad that UConn's going to be there. 93-68, and it's after a weird day one of the Big East tournament. The chalk has settled in, and we'll see if it does in this nightcap.
I don't know. It's a close one so far.
Yeah.
Villanova's a wounded animal right now, so there is a possibility. It would be pretty cool to see UConn and Georgetown again in the Garden.
Oh, you would
Wouldn't be upset about that.
I was going to say you love the 4 best teams there, but also the old man, and you kind of Georgetown, UConn, St. John's, Seton Hall in the other game, which should be. I'm excited. I'm going to get there in the middle of the first half, and I hope that the game isn't in a delay because they've broken the backboard. But I have a fear of what Seton Hall might have to drag that thing down to. And they had a chance at them last week, and I think it's a long way back for Seton Hall to make the tournament, probably. But tomorrow night, it's right there in front of them. To quote a shitty baseball manager, it's right in front of them. And we'll see, but I do like the reason they ended up there sucks, but UConn was in what looks like the weaker half of this bracket. I'm thrilled UConn didn't have to deal with Providence again in their bullshit, or Seton Hall in their bullshit. Providence derogatory, Seton Hall complimentary. Yeah,
no, for sure. I mean, I was just thinking out tonight. We ended up in the easier part of the bracket. These things happen for a reason, folks. So, and I just wouldn't want to play Seton Hall in a game before you have to play us. Just a mucky, stupid, grimy, exhausting team to play against. Though you could kind of mostly handle them, like they're just not enjoyable.
Fighting, to quote their coach, fighting for their fucking life too. Like that's not going to be. If you think Seton Hall was tough to play against normally, I mean, what do you think tomorrow night looks like when it's the win that can put you into the tournament?
So they're one of the smallest teams in division. They read this statistic out tonight. I don't know if you caught it on the broadcast tonight. I don't know if I heard that right. The smallest team in Division I by average height, and they're whether it's first, second in the league in shot blocks. That's crazy.
It's incredible.
Such a Shaheen Holloway thing to have happen.
Yeah, they're 341st in the country in average height.
Yeah.
Now, to be the average height is 77.4 inches. Their team's average is 76.2.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're, a bunch of 5'10" guys, but they're tiny for the Big East, especially. And yeah, so they're one of the smallest teams in the country, and defensively, they have the highest block percentage in the league. He's a hell of a coach, man. He deserved Coach of the Year. And he thinks they're in. And I mean, I would not want to be the NCAA tournament committee that leaves them out with shots.
They are not. He may have to show up and physically threaten some people to have it happen, but they're not going to get in. I think they're pretty safely outside the bubble right now.
I agree.
Unless they win 2 games.
If they win tomorrow, they at least can think about themselves having a shot. It's hard. We'll get into this later, man. The whole bubble is so bad. Like the defense for them being, you could argue, delusional is it's not like anybody else is winning their way into this thing. I feel like, are we at a point where we just go with what the bubble was a week ago, since everybody down there has just kept losing? No, like, remember how UConn got the 1 seed back because everybody else lost?
This has got to be the worst. I mean, it's the worst bubble I've ever seen. I think close.
I mean, how great was it seeing Seth Davis do his whiny bit and Evan Miyakawa running the numbers going, no, this statistically we can prove this is a terrible bubble.
Is it really?
Yes.
Is it really the worst bubble?
Yeah, no, Evan Miyakawa, I'll find you the tweet he sent. So he ran the numbers because you want to normalize it to he looked at what is the average efficiency of the 40th best team in the country, because that's around where the bubble usually is. And it's right. The worst is this year. I think the second worst was last year, and the third worst was 3 years ago. This is not a coincidence. it's all unlike in real life, trickle down economics actually happens in college basketball when UConn can go and just take Georgia's point guard and can just take one of the best rebounder from the Northeast Conference to be a practice player. And everybody else at the top, when St. John's can just grab Bryce Hopkins, and this shit all goes downhill. All the talent, what people are why are the good teams now so good? Well, Duke's a bad example, because it's mostly Boozer and the rest of their players are getting hurt. Michigan isn't 1 or 2 guys. Michigan's 7 guys deep. Arizona is 7 or 8 guys. There's not there's fewer holes in the top end rosters than there ever have been. Well, the other side of that means that the rosters, when you get farther down the food chain, are bad or they're worse. And that's why this bubble is awful.
By the way, sensational line at the end of the UConn press conference. Obviously, Dan was fined $25,000 for being ejected on the Marquette game this past week. Players offered to pay part of the fine. I'm glad somebody's got some awareness there. That's good. That's a good thing. It's a positive thing.
Was it Silas? I hope it was Silas.
It probably was Silas.
It
was probably Millender.
If they had him put the UConn name on the bracket, I like that. And then him and Jaden did an incredible handshake that needs to be re-racked. It's just tremendous. No. They're so cool. Dan
was in a phenomenal mood tonight, by the way. Can we just talk about that post-game interview? That's probably the happiest I've seen him.
But he kept saying but.
He did say
he's a butt kicker. He loves Duke Brennan so much.
Oh.
If we play Villanova tomorrow, they're going to have to hose Dan off.
Disgusting.
He's a real butt kicker. He's, he kicked our butts.
He's not going to like your Instagram posts. It's always part of the line. He doesn't like social media, yet he's constantly posting bullshit on social media.
As he's recording cameos for $200 a pop.
Andrea, take a picture of me eating a frozen pizza on my couch. Not going to like his posts.
Yeah,
He's not going to want to do a jersey swap with you.
it was just nice for him to just flush that awful feeling of Saturday. But more work to do with
Georgetown player just missed a tomahawk dunk and spiked the ball clean off his face, and I think he might have cracked his nose.
You're ahead of me because I'm at. This is so spacey. I'm at 9:11. I know what that sounds like. This is where the clock is. Oh, here it is.
Something happened. Oh no!
Yeah. Duke Brennan. Oh,
fistful of fingers.
That should be
Brennan. He's a tough guy. He doesn't want to do a jersey swap. He's going to stick his fingers, all of them, right in your eye socket.
That is absolutely the clip that they're showing Terrace in the film tomorrow morning about Duke Brennan. This is what you're going to have to deal with.
Whether we're playing him or not.
Yes.
I do like that Dan did see the Kodiak.
Play him or not. That's true.
Play him or not. I can't wait today. I was actually really excited that Dan saw the Terrace barometer from Kodiak bear down to Care Bear, the different kinds of bears that you get when Terrace is out there.
Yeah.
He did reference Care Bear after the game.
I enjoyed watching. Well, I didn't because in the moment you're like, oh God. But he did a very good job of recognizing the double and just do something, Terrace. Just make a decision. You'll probably be the right one, but don't not make a decision because that's worse. And I thought tonight, that's the thing. When teams throw the double at him, the problem isn't the two players. The problem is that Terrace just can't decide what's the one way he's going to break it. Today he was stepping through it. He was passing out of it. I thought their perimeter passing was great. I thought just on both sides, their perimeter play was great. That Solo was really tight on guys on the perimeter defensively, which for him is, not always the case. So great to see that. And that just took away Xavier's one hope to try and stay in this thing. Other than watching Silas go underneath Borovichnin, who's going to just be jacking threes. It just keeps going under screens, but it didn't really matter a lot in the end. And so and especially with the way Villanova looks right now, we are about an hour away from finally getting the real Drek of the league out of here and getting down to the actual size that the Big East bracket should have been this year, which is 4 teams at most.
Yeah, I will say, really like that transition defense from Georgetown with them completely stopping and leaving open a wide open transition 3. And then the guy that was generally within 8 feet did not move at all. And then when the ball went in, just threw his hands up oh, come on, man.
Like it's somebody else's fault. Oh boy. Yeah.
But love bad college basketball.
I know it's the best time of the year. I'm starting to come around on the whole. I like this week more than the first week of the NCAA tournament thing because there's just so much of it. There's just so much insane shit. We've got a lawsuit in the WAC for the best team to play. I've got Josh Pastner talking about a house of whores out in UNLV in the 8-9 game.
Yeah. Sean Miller said he was not going to miss this team.
Yes, very directly talking about this team. I've got right now Porter Mosier is up 25-11 on Texas A&M trying to save his job and put together if you thought Oklahoma last year had a bad at-large case, you should see the shit they're trying to do this week. It's just great to see really across the gamut. And that includes UMass doing the most predictable thing ever today. Sage was so all over it a month out. He was talking about it too. He was like, it's going to happen. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. That was so funny to see the way that happened too. And now everybody, the one outcome that could actually introduce hot takery on the Miami case is here. We can actually do it.
Yep.
There's not a lot to talk about with UConn tonight. I'll happily do a bad faith anti-Miami argument if we need the content. I can do it. It's really easy to do.
I'm not doing that.
I still want
I believe in mid-majors. I stand in solidarity with mid-majors.
No, you know what we need? The only way this can end. So Tuesday night, Dick Vitale and Charles Barkley are doing an NCAA First Four game. Your favorite round.
Yeah.
It's got to be Miami Auburn. It has to be. It has
the first four is just, it's not real.
It's real. It's
not real. It's the dumbest thing anybody's ever come up with. It should be 64. I'm never going to call it not 64. It's not 68. It's 64.
Oh, we're getting
not in the tournament until you win. You're not in the tournament until you're in the field of 64. The fact they call that a second round is just an abomination. Abominable.
You have the opportunity. Well, they don't do that anymore. No, they stopped doing that like 8 years ago.
Oh, thank God.
Right. Yeah. It was throwing off all the record book too. It looks stupid as hell. I was hoping you'd be like have the really weird third way argument that no, you're mad about the first four because it used to be just four teams and now it's 8. They have to go back to just being the bottom 4 teams. Then I'll recognize it. But no, they're bringing in these interlopers. If they're going to do it, it should only be the at-large teams. It's a joke that a team gets an auto bid and is viewed as not good enough. Like,
just stupid. You get auto bid and you get you should be rewarded for that. I total agreement.
Yeah, but
I don't want to see more of these teams anymore. I just don't. After watching the bubble this year, who wants to see more of that?
Yeah, you know who doesn't want to see more of these teams? Their fan bases. I have a lot of good friends who are Indiana fans. Nobody's less interested in watching Indiana play basketball again this year.
Cannot wait for the off season. You know, whenever you have a down year, like all right, off season's almost here, and then it's here, and you're like, great, we can get a head start. We're not going to have to sit through this next year. Nope, you got one more mediocre game to watch, where your team does what it does all year, where it just teases you to maybe think that they have something in there that they absolutely don't.
Especially if you're crown bound like the Creighton Blue Jays. Greg McDermott says he wants to play in it. It's not till like April 4th.
It's nice to get that NIL.
Yeah, I know, but it's like, that's even worse. You're waiting around for 2.5 weeks to play in that thing. But these are not our problems. As UConn advances into the Big East semifinal, and the bubble's so bad. It's so bad. Miami's loss was a joke, but also, please give me Miami Auburn next week. We put Bruce Pearl in a plexiglass booth, because I don't know if you saw him courtside tonight in Nashville having a meltdown. Wasn't very becoming. I mean, you got your kid a $12 million contract, Bruce. What are you complaining about that he didn't deserve? Like, he should be thrilled. And now Bruce is Mr. He's come all the way around to Miami. He's trying to be the face. It's a really bad face turn, by the way. Can you give me a wrestling equivalent to just a badly executed face turn?
Like a bad baby face turn. I mean, there's not an equivalent, right? You could say Randy Orton's first baby face turn sucked. They had him jumping out of birthday cakes and stuff.
Oh, okay.
That sucked.
But that's what this feels like, because he's going over the top to praise Miami even today when they lose. Yeah, it's like, we all know what you really want.
He doesn't think that.
No.
Nice try, Bruce. Yeah. I know he's trying to audition to be a politician. That's this.
Well, listen, it's Alabama.
Right in.
It's a low bar. So UConn 93, Xavier 68. Should we let the wieners whine? There's not much to whine about tonight.
Yeah, there's not much to whine about. I don't think we're going to go very late tonight, guys.
Yeah,
we're going to go 4 nights in a row.
That's right. Because Sunday we're going to do a show. I had a moment this morning where I was walking from my office to my bedroom, and I literally thought, we have to do a show Sunday night. And I physically dropped to one knee. I was like, oh God, it's 4 in a row.
It's a lot. So you think the players are going through a lot? Imagine
Nobody more than us. Nobody more.
Nobody puts in more work than us. All right. So we need you people to bring a lot of whining, because we've only got so much. We got to conserve, just like the team tonight. We're going to need some bench minutes, folks. So,
and see, all right. if it's not, that's not, before you read it, if that's not bad enough, my dumbass, UConn BU hockey, season on the line, 1 p.m. Saturday, after getting back from MSG at God knows what time. This was a really good decision by me to wedge that in there.
Yeah, that's probably not smart.
I'm going to do that at 1.
Recruiting crap.
And they need to win for their season to continue if I want it to. I kind of do. And then hopefully UConn St. John's 3, then this stupid show. I'll sleep when I'm dead, which might be Tuesday at the rate this is going. But let's let the wieners whine. I'll shut up.
I have so much recruiting shit to do this weekend. Watch a pitcher I had signed and blow his arm out in real time. It was the worst.
Oh God, that's not good.
I'm already down 4 arms. We're not even.
You shouldn't have done that.
not even in there. Who does he think he is? I need you, kid. All right, hot dog. The UConn Husky season is here, and the good folks at Martin Roll Souls are here to help keep you fueled so you can keep foot on gas throughout the year. Hot dogs, kielbasa, sausages, deli meats, you name it. Not only can you grab what you need for the big game at their retail store at 45 Grove Street in New Britain. They'll even bring the meats to you and ship them across the country. That's Martin Roll Souls, the official sponsor of the Connecticut Basketball Spaces Wiener Weinerlein. Folks, it's time to get to the meat of tonight's show, and by that, we mean the Martin Roll Souls Wiener Weinerlein. We'll be taking calls and check-ins for the next hour. Hot diggity dog. There. That's a me and a better mood.
Yes, thank you.
Read tonight.
After the saddest read. We got more people commenting on that read the other night than anything I think we've ever done. That wasn't one shining shit post. People love that entry.
Yeah, well, I was upset. I was going through a lot of shit, okay? That was an emotional day. Speaking of emotional, Penfield, you were in the building tonight. How are things going with you? I had Penfield here.
I mean, we'll see. God knows the condition he or the Wi-Fi in MSG are right now.
If Penfield's not gonna speak up, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pull the trigger right off the bat.
Yes.
I think he's here. Postradamus, are you there?
This is great because I think they're sitting next to each other.
They probably are. They're probably
they were. They sent a picture. Neither of them can figure
They probably can't even figure out how to use their phones right now. Because that's where I would be. Hanny Durley, bail us out here. You better be there.
Hanny Durley's here.
There we go. Now we sound like a real show.
Thank you.
I'm here and appreciate the hard work. I know March is a lot, the back-to-back days for you guys.
Exhausting.
I can imagine. Hey, just
mentally draining, physically, emotionally draining on my family as well. Nobody suffers worse than the two of us.
Hey, I mean, you're doing the Lord's work, so
no pain, no gain.
Yeah, exactly. Just a couple points I want to bring up. Tonight was a game that I think we all needed as a fan base. Just seeing, everything click. The first half was arguably one of the best first halves of the season, and to happen, tonight in the Big East tournament, first game for us, was incredible. I want to give a big shout out to Jaden Ross. Just his athleticism, I think, changes everything for this team. And I want to see him continue and throughout March, get more minutes. Also another thing I wanted to bring up was Hurley seemed, of course, the point differential and the score and how we were playing contributes a lot, but a lot more tame on the sidelines. And I love his energy. Usually I have nothing, bad to say about it, but did you guys notice it as well? Him just his interview with John Fannis on a lot, taking accountability of what happened before, but just want to hear your thoughts regarding that.
Yeah, I would agree. There was a bit of the one counter is, and it's because of the timing when they ran it. The in the huddle feature tonight was 4 minutes into the second half, which was the worst part of the night, and it was just Dan killing Terrace how he should have double the rebounds basically he had. But overall, yeah, he's obviously you're going to be in a good mood when you win a Big East tournament game by 25, right? But also, I do think there's a little bit of, we're 32 games in here. And this was kind of something that we had talked about, I want to say 4 or 5 games ago. I think it was off the back of the Creighton game where you kind of noticed a little bit of a change in Dan where he's kind of realized you can't just lay into the kids month after month after. At this point, you got to play a different card to try and get through to them. Right. And it worked with great results for how they looked against Villanova and St. John's. Now Saturday stunk, but today looked drastically better. So I think Dan is currently in the moment of where he's trying to not just be, by his standards, intense, lay into the kids, Dan, to yell at them to fix stuff, and realizes that this team needs a bit of a softer touch. I wish it didn't. I know Hot Balls wishes it didn't, right? But, every team responds to things differently. There are different groups of 15 kids every single year. And so not every team's going to be like, the 99 team in terms of, being able to put up with being ridden really hard. This team just needs a different kind of hand. It doesn't mean it can't be a great team. But I think Dan has, dare I say, struggled to figure out how to get through to this group this year because, like all of us, we know that the sum of the parts should be better than it has been. It's also 28-4. So it's been kind of a hard line for him to walk because, he wants to lay into them, but also, they're winning all these games. But I do think overall, to give you an extremely long-winded answer, Handy Durley, I apologize. I'm nothing if not consistent. I do think he seems more relaxed with them, kind of like he knows they have enough to get there. And it's just going to come down to on any given day what they look like. As great as tonight was, I don't think it guarantees they look great again tomorrow night, but they've given themselves the opportunity. And that's all you can do in March.
Yeah, I think the range of outcomes of this team is just going to be a lot wider than some teams we've had in the past, but look, you could have said the same thing about the 11 team. Could have said the same thing about the 2014 team. Arguably said the same thing about the 23 team. Although, I felt they had some, I felt kind of the exact opposite. I felt like they had some really unlucky losses in there and were always pretty good. And if they got the right road, they could go off on a run, which they did. Right. I think everybody's guilty a little bit of expectations with this crew. They're not, what the 24 team was. And they're not what the 23 team was either, but I've said this dozens of times this year. I think their ceiling is better than anybody else's ceiling in the country. I think their floor is also demonstrably lower. Usually floors catch up with teams more often than, they play to their ceilings in the tournament. But you could paint a bunch of different scenarios as to what this team's going to do in the tournament. And it probably wouldn't take a lot of hard work and imagineering on my part to envision what that would look like. Right. And this is a kind of a weird Rubik's cube of a team to try to manage from a personality standpoint. Hurley Manny was just talking about it. There are some teams that they really thrive off being coached hard. They like it when you go at them, and especially kind of when they take on the personality of the coach a little bit, that's kind of Dan's sort of disposition there. So I think there's a certain comfort level in a team like the 23 team, the 24 team that I think we're just a little bit more hard nosed than this group. That doesn't mean this team is soft or anything like that. I just think, that crew kind of thrived on that. This group shuts off a little bit if you ride them too hard. And I think, giving them a little bit more leash to fail, being a little bit more corrective. And you got to be honest here. The free throw shooting's gotten demonstrably better last couple of games, right? They had a terrible 3-point shooting night the other night. Turnovers are still an issue, but they've kind of ostensibly fixed the rebounding. That's been a lot better. And look, in spite of all of this, the way that we talk about this team, 28-4, probably going to be a 2 seed. That is not a team that is terrible. So, I thought everything was,
if they kind of made them out of the ball. If they win the Big East tournament, they have 30 wins before the NCAA tournament. What are we doing?
Yeah. And I was right there. I had a meltdown after the last game too. That's the kind of game you have a meltdown about, but, cause it was a meltdown, but other than that, it's just, they're a more normal-ish national title contender this year. That's what they are. So, I'll take it. I thought the other night, again, it's just the usual, I think the thing with Dan that kind of gets him with the focus on his sideline behavior. I think the thing that just sort of gets to him is that, he knows that anytime he does something, it's just getting 9,000 times the attention and focus that it's getting from anybody else. The fact that, I thought the Hurley cam they had the other day with the meltdown with him and his brother both live in real time was hilarious. But name another coach that anything like that would ever happen.
Oh, 100%. Even he was very tame on the sidelines today, and obviously the game and the way it went contributes to that. But there was, one, I guess, sort of GIF that, and Big Cat posted it right away. It's clickbait. It's rage bait. That's anything Hurley does is, and this has been for the last whatever. It's so good for the media because it produces views, right?
Oh yeah,
And
yeah, of
that's
course.
all it is. It's views.
Yeah, this would be
Yeah, no, for
helpful
sure.
if somebody else had remotely the personality he has. It would take off some of the awareness. But Todd Golden, 6 pounds of hair gel and Instagram likes. John Shire's pretty much the same without the Instagram thing. Kelvin Sampson's kind of an ornery fiery old guy. Dusty May doesn't have the hair gel, but he's a quarter zip guy. And then you've got Dan, the guy, Tommy Lloyd, same thing, quiet quarter zip guy. And then you've got Dan. If you take the coaches of the 6 elite teams, then there's Dan Hurley, complete psychopath. It would help UConn if one of these other guys was close to Dan, but none of them in terms of their demeanor, but they aren't. So Dan sucks all the oxygen out of the room. And that kind of is what
it's a personalityless sport right now.
Yeah.
And that when you got a guy like Dan, and I don't mean to put him, I mean, I don't think he would have been another guy in the 80s, but he would have been part of a much broader cast of characters than, oh my goodness, what the hell is that? Georgetown just got fouled on a corner bank shot 3, folks. If you want to see something that looks ridiculous, pop on FS1 right now. But, I just think that, Dan's, really a throwback in that way. And I don't think, even in the Marquette game, he was quiet pretty much the whole game. His huddles were pretty tame for a game that was that frustrating. He didn't really just blow his top until the end there. And I didn't think anything he did was particularly egregious. He bumped into the ref. You could say he bumped him. He bumped into him. I mean, he deliberately bumped him. Did you technically get a suspension for that? I mean, I guess, but who cares? Honest to God, who cares? That interaction he had the other night, that interaction he had the other night, if any other coach in the country had that interaction, it wouldn't have had a 50th of the amount of attention that it got.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that.
I just, one last thing on it, because I did say, and I still think he did bump him, and I think he should have gotten a game suspension, but I wasn't mad about it. It's worth noting, this goes 2 ways. John Gaffney said he didn't bump him. John Gaffney didn't put it in the report and said he didn't denied that he bumped him. So as much as we talked about the leniency Dan Hurley gets from the officials in this league to the degree he does with his conduct, to some degree, these officials let it go too. They drive us nuts with the calls and stuff, but John Gaffney could have, you think John Gaffney's looking out for Dan Hurley, right? He could absolutely put in there that he bumped him and Dan gets banged, I don't know, maybe for the whole Big East tournament. We don't know how Val is. He said, no, he didn't bump me. And on the video, it looks like he did, but John Gaffney realizes the heat of that moment, and he's an experienced official that we don't like, but he's experienced enough to realize that, he didn't make it about himself there when Dan did his shit. So, in a weird way, I give him credit.
Yeah, and I don't want to go on this too much longer, but I just think at the end of the day, I don't think Dan likes that kind of attention. I think that's why he gets embarrassed by it. I just don't think he likes that being a discussion. I don't think Dan gets himself thrown out to deflect the attention from the bad loss to him. I don't think there's any grand strategy
there. I'm so glad
there.
you brought this up because I was wondering. It's a point I heard people start to make, and I was
that's just I
don't think Dan's that Machiavellian, guys. He's just
I think he just blew his stack, and it's impossible not to. I mean, he was talking about it. They'd worked for months to get to that point to have that chance, and all you got to do is beat the last place team to win a regular season championship, and it didn't happen. And then to have it happen on kind of a close call there at the end of the game, that's just a dude snapping, man. It is what it is. It happens to everybody. And I don't, and I think Dan knows that. And I think Dan likes being that way. I think it's a catch-22 for him. It's just when he gets all the attention, I just don't think he's comfortable in his skin being the hothead.
Yeah, because we're at a point, how could he possibly change at this point? Come on, guys. Would it be better for his health? Probably. Not doing this job would be better for his health. There's nobody that does this job who's in good health. Look at all the coaching. Every year it's getting more strained. You're seeing more guys having breakdowns and press conferences. The stress on these guys. Bill Self has had like 5 heart attacks, and he doesn't need to be doing this. And now he's got to deal with Aaron Peterson. Like, this is if Dan really wanted to help his mental health, I'm glad he wouldn't do this job, but he doesn't, and there's a reason he does it. And he was doing it before he got $8 million a year. So I mean, it's not the money at this point.
It's just baked in the cake, and like I don't. Where I get annoyed with it is just this constant discourse about whether it's bad for the. Shut the fuck up. Whether it's bad for the game. It's the thing that's missing from the game from an entertainment standpoint, by a long shot. So like it's the actual thing that the game needs. I mean, we've got enough like soft load management, like quarter zip hair goop guys. Like they're all over the game now with a bunch of guys that are all congratulating each other and patting each other on the ass. And they've all got their agent, dump trucking some dude in his butthole that's in the national media that's going to say nothing but nice things about him. Like, it's so sanitized and sterile now. And, I like having a guy that's just fucking nut. And by the way, that interview with Fanta where my new favorite thing that Dan does is when he short circuits. Like in the middle of something where he just was like, Fanta was asking him about the thing and he was like, oh, he like looked up into the air. It was like when Murphy from RoboCop just short circuited, right? It was like watching Dan just fucking jack his head back and just completely disengaged from the conversation. It's great. I enjoy
a live programming update if you want something to watch during the Big East halftime. Georgetown by 4. The SWAC quarterfinals are a 1-point game with 50 seconds to go, and it's SWAC basketball, so anything could happen. That's SWAC pack. That's ESPN Plus. But thank you, Handy Durley. I don't know if we answered your question right. We've trailed off, but I think
out of that ball yarn around and spun it out.
No, you did. Thanks, fellas. Good discussion.
Thank you. All right. I think we got Penfield back.
Oh boy,
Penfield, how are you? He's there.
Give him time. There's probably a terrible delay in MSG or Posty. Nope. Here we go.
Hey, can you guys hear me this time?
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to get boots on the ground because you guys are not willing to put boots on the ground. Right?
Boots on the ground!
Boots on the ground!
That Posty?
Yeah, that's Posty.
Nice.
We're here. We're watching people do like, I don't know, musical chairs or some shit at halftime.
The Colgate thing.
Okay, yeah. So,
no.
There was a contest where if you won, you get 6 months of
toothpaste.
Who the fuck
toothpaste?
Who the fuck wants that?
Yeah,
another
that's
brilliant Val promotion. That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
6 months.
No, okay. If there's anything Big East fans would need, it's clean teeth. Clean your teeth.
That's what the Providence one.
I think that was. Oh, sorry. These people are. No, they want to get in a row. No, but for real. Hey, have you guys heard about Jaden Ross? Have you guys heard about them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell me about him.
What was it like during your Eaton person?
Well, it was cool because he was throwing balls inbounds to people, and he was throwing balls outbounds to people. It was one of the best things I've ever seen in my entire life. It was balls going everywhere.
That's the story of my life.
Yeah. No, but for real.
We've struggled with the inbounds pass a little bit, and we've gone to Jason.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm going to stick with that, but
He starts with the inbound passing, and then he ends with the outbound passing. But it's great. No. But. No, for real. It's like every UConn game. The way it's going to go is based on the bench. And the bench was great tonight.
Yeah.
And it was like Jaden, Ryba, and Mally all played awesome tonight. It was a great showing from all of them. It's a blowout. That's the difference between losing to Creighton, losing to fucking whatever the
Marquette.
fuck teams we lost
Marquette.
to. Marquette.
We only lost to 4 of them. I mean, it's easy to
Right.
remember.
There's only 4 games we lost. Arizona, Marquette, Creighton, and that other team. And the difference is always the bench. And tonight the bench showed up, and they played a great game. And I give them a lot of credit. They showed up, and I hope that they're there for 2 more games this weekend. I hope they're there for the rest of the March Madness. And, man, I need some toothpaste. Love you guys.
Love you. Is Posty still there? I have to address something with Posty.
No, he's straddling me right now.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, some other guy is straddling me right now. I don't know, man.
I was told that Posty is anti-Guinness, and I was deeply offended.
No, you know what? We gave him a Guinness, and you know what he told us?
Oh.
Tastes like oil.
Okay. Get out. 5 days before St. Patrick's Day.
Get the fuck out of here.
Anarchist bullshit argument by Posty. That's a disgrace. The man flew from Texas.
Right.
He can fly back.
Yeah. That's fucking. But I would say to you guys, imagine putting boots on the ground.
Yeah. I will be tomorrow.
Imagine.
I'll be
out here fighting for our lives. Yeah.
I will be.
We're fighting for our lives. We're fighting Villanova fans. We're fighting Georgetown fans. It's amazing.
They're fulfilling the Huffball's legacy. Thank you. Thank you for bringing the brave.
We're telling we were at the St. John's Providence game. We were telling them to fight each other.
Yeah, we were, yeah. Popular thing on social media.
Yeah. It was a great time. We had a judge telling them to fight each other.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank God for Judge. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
amazing.
That was so disappointing, that whole game. Not that I thought Providence would win.
Yeah.
Jesus, no fight.
The best part of the whole weekend was the Providence fans in section 230. I don't know, whatever. And they were just standing the entire game. The whole Sigma Alpha Epsilon fraternity was standing the entire game.
All the Chads.
Yeah. Chads into your butthole. Yeah.
Standing up.
Hot balls, they got brutally frame-logged there. That's bad.
Yeah.
They did.
That's pretty.
By a PC frat leader.
Okay. Brought to you by Jeep.
Yes.
It's brought to you by Jeep. My call is brought to you by Jeep.
Thank you.
And Martin Rosals.
And Colgate.
And Colgate toothpaste.
Penfield,
Goodbye.
since you have boots on ground, did you witness the Seton Hall guy? You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, God. That is me. Period. End of story. Domino's Pizza, Big East, Colgate Avenue, Madison Square Garden, Jeep. All the corporate sponsors. Canada.
Get on our butts. Get on
our butts. Yeah. If we have butts, get on them.
Penfield, you're going to be there tomorrow, right?
I'm going to be here tomorrow. Hopefully I have my voice.
That's unlikely.
Good night. I'll see you guys.
I will see you tomorrow. I don't know if
Boots on the ground!
All right. Oh, boy.
Can you imagine? And there's no other conference like it. I know the conference isn't that good this year in basketball, but Hotball's there. That's it. That's the whole thing. That's
the Big East tournament.
There's nothing else close to it. You could put your fucking LED glass court and shove it up your ass. I don't care if you have 3 Final Four teams there. Nobody gives a shit. We tried to get St. John's and Providence fans to fight each other. Yeah.
Right there.
They were organizing. They were freaking scheduling.
Organizing fights, like promoting fights. Media. Gone from the Bill of Rights to promoting fights. Postradamus.
It's only the Big East tournament. It's the only tournament.
While straddling other men and denying Guinness.
I love this league. I know it's not good enough, but I love it anyway. It's better when it's bad. I'll say it. I can't believe we didn't get the call tonight, though. God damn it.
Oh. That was wild.
That was call of the year. And we're just beginning the month of March.
My favorite quote on that call was Penfield not saying boots on the ground and instead said poop on the ground. I've been there. I've done that.
He doesn't realize, because he was at the game, that FS1 did have a really good tease to break when they like mashed up the different food areas of the city. And at one point they did have like a shot inside a halal truck. And I was like, oh God, this could be it. This could be it. Penfield comes crashing.
You see a shirtless Penfield come clattering out the window. Oh man.
I am New York comes barreling through a windshield.
It never disappoints.
It never does.
Josh Conrad, what do you got, man? Sorry, I have to follow that up.
There's no following that up. We're not even going to try. Boots stay on ground. Penfield, boots stay on ground.
Yes.
We are about to get a Pine Bluff inbound with 3.4 seconds left.
Josh, this could be anything.
This could literally be.
Oh, he got the look.
Here we go.
He got blocked.
He's got a shot. Oh, blocked.
He got blocked on a 3 going coast to coast. That's a hell of a defensive play. Southern
survives.
Southern a winner.
Tonight was fun. Hurley, just an aside, I sent you a very clean gif of the Alec Melender, Jaden Ross dap up, which is it is absolute cinema.
I'm so glad that you're in here for a lot of reasons, including I got the DM and it didn't show me what it was. And I don't know if you've seen UConn social media this week, but I'm not touching anybody sending me a DM that I didn't know what it was. So thank you for telling me what it is, that you have not changed your life through crypto, that this is an actual beautiful thing. Thank you so much.
No, it's stunning.
Save it, use it immediately.
Use it all over your life. I don't want to linger too long on the John Fanta, Dan Hurley interview, but Tim Brando, for some reason, took umbrage at the Big East saying that they were speculating on the broadcast, and he replied to it. And then I very innocuously asked Mr. Brando, like, if the ref said he didn't bump him, why don't you believe him? Just responded very, tersely that I know better, period. So Tim Brando throwing his hat in the ring to continue to try to be right in the bump gate, but
well, that's great because he took 5 minutes off of having a full whiny baby crash out over John Fanta getting his gig this week too. I saw that. That was great.
Yeah, and I think that's why he decided just to insert himself in the conversation. But rest in piss, because John Fanta is the prince that was promised.
Go call fucking Southland.
Exactly. Go call a semifinal SWAC game with Southern in the next couple days. Team looked great tonight. That felt like who we are, more to who we are. Then obviously the Marquette game felt like from kind of start to finish, our intensity was up. Just feels like we came into this a little pissed off, a little bit forgotten. So obviously getting off the court with a victory like that, pretty much in hand after the under 16 timeout. I think we were up 8. Just felt pretty good from start to finish. I will be boots on ground tomorrow, and so excited to see Penfield and the rest of our crew in a mostly original Big East semifinal. Should Villanova survive against? Well, either way, I guess it would be an original if Georgetown wins, and a mostly original if Villanova wins. We don't want to ever let Villanova think that they're an original member of this conference. Couple stats I just wanted to reference really, really quick. Katie Sharp had this, that UConn players with 15 and 14 in a conference tournament game in the last 15 years. Obviously tonight, Terrace Reed. The only other one was Donovan 2 years ago. And so only 2 guys, 15 and 14, pretty hallowed ground. And so maybe the 20 and 20 would have been to Dan Hurley's liking, but glad to see Terrace assert himself
And yeah, excited for a semifinal Friday night game. There's no better day in the Big East tournament, in my opinion, than semifinal Friday.
Totally agree. I just got an old friend, Cody, just texted me all caps, boots on ground. Even the Seton Hall fans are into it. Yeah.
I'm in for boots on ground.
Although, Josh, I am crushed. It's not letting me tweet this gift. This gift is incredible.
All right, I'll figure out a different way to get to you because it's friggin' perfect.
It's the file size. So if you could make it the smaller size, it's glorious.
Yeah. All right. I'll work on that as
Thank
soon
you
as
very
we're.
much, sir.
I gotta get off ESPN Plus now and go back to the Georgetown game. But obviously the Mally minutes tonight. The full Mally experience. I think he threw a ball into Penfield's lap at one point, and then hit 2 killer threes just before that. So the full Mally experience. Obviously, we got to get Silas to stay on the floor against Villanova. We cannot be missing him for as long as we were missing him today.
Yeah, absolutely. That's like the sort of thing you can get away with tonight, hot balls, but that shit isn't going to work on Saturday and might not tomorrow, to be fair.
It's probably going to work tomorrow.
Yeah, well, especially if this game keeps going the way it's going.
Yeah, these are not two teams I'm particularly scared of right now.
I'm thinking of Succession. You are not serious, people.
I mean, it's fun to watch, but it's very much what it is with these two teams. So we'll see. But we do like to keep things interesting with Georgetown, so you never know.
Yeah, you obviously would rather play them than Villanova, but, I mean, they've been a pain in the ass for a while. And that's a giant landmine. That would be if you thought losing the Big East regular season title Saturday was embarrassing, that would be worse. I'm not going to talk that into the universe on a night we won by 25. But let's see. I hope Georgetown and Villanova play until the last Metro North train runs tonight. Let's get 10 overtimes.
I mean, I'd be into that. Sounds like a good time to me. Especially
because I have our old friend Full 40 Chris just not even responding to text now because I can tell he's in it deep. He spent all week. He's great. He spent all week furious that Caden Lewis didn't win Freshman of the Year and that Willard didn't win Coach of the Year. And now they're down 4 to Georgetown.
Just a little bit more pain on their part before they figure it out again. That's what I'd like. A little bit more pain. A little bit more.
All right, boys. I will see some of you boots on ground tomorrow. If you're not boots on ground, be eyes on screen. And let's get back to the tiebreaker game against that other school. Would love to be there Saturday night as well.
Very important to take that lead over them as they have opened up a bit of a lead here on Villanova. An update for everyone tomorrow, just to remind everyone, tomorrow it's 8 p.m. on FS1. Last year, the Big East got both semis on Fox. They don't this year because of the World Baseball Classic. So UConn's semi will be on FS1 tomorrow at 8 p.m.
Very important that you not watch Aaron Judge in a key spot in the World Baseball Classic. I'm a Yankee fan. I just don't want anyone else seeing him strike out.
That was a nasty changeup they got him on the other night, though.
Yeah.
Nobody's hitting that pitch.
At least it's great to see Aaron Judge have another manager who has no clue what the fuck he's doing. That was refreshing.
It's awful luck on his part that one coach doesn't know how the seating system works and the other one just keeps repeating that it's right in front of us as he stares at the Georgetown computer.
I know this is off topic. Could you believe the DeRosa thing? Like, in your background, was that galling to you?
No, it's totally expected.
Okay.
You know how many guys fail up in baseball that have absolutely no idea what they're doing? Like, whatsoever. Particularly in the college game, but like, some guys in the pros are just like, they're hanging out. Anyways, Mark DeRosa, I mean, he's, really fun utility player. That's pretty much the extent of what we're talking about here. You gotta get a really bad player to be a manager. That's the thing in baseball.
Yes, correct.
It's always been my thing.
Yeah, always have to be a shitty catcher.
It has a shitty cat. I mean, yeah.
Francisco Cervelli.
Francisco Cervelli. Yes. There's like, I always tell guys this, like the thing in baseball, like I may have even told this story before, but they had a segment on MLB. I still run into it on occasion on Instagram where they're like talking about how to snap a hitting slump.
Yes, you've told me.
And the fucking guy that they decide to interview about hitting slumps is Pete Rose. Like, I couldn't think of a guy that had fewer hitting slumps in his fucking career than Pete Rose, but sure, let's just talk to him about this. So anyways, Pete's sitting there just spewing bullshit. Like, well, if you think it might be a curveball, you're going to move up in the box and choke up on the bat and put the knob over here. And then if you're going to think it's a fastball on the thing, and then you're going to move over and down there in the box. And fucking Harold Reynolds and Jim Tomei are sitting there just like a bunch of bobbleheads being like, wow, that was incredible. This is great. Alex Rodriguez too. You know what I mean? And like, you know, there's just some guys in that sport, like they're barbarians. They're just like, me see ball, me hit ball. They don't think about any of this stuff. They're like, oh man, where's my hands? Like, am I double loading? Like, you know, what am I doing with my hand? They're like, these are not mad scientists. They just see the little white thing moving in their general direction. They get real mad and they swing their big caveman club at it and ball go far and me happy. That's all they do. Like, I can't tell you how many guys like I've had in summer ball over the years that are like premium hitters. And I just sit there and I'm like, there's just nothing I can teach this kid. Like, I don't even want to touch them. You know, it's like, you're going to teach these guys. Like, they know what they're doing. Like, they just go out there and do it. Meanwhile, you get a guy like an Alex Cora or a Francisco Cervelli or like a real dog shit college player. Like, you get out to the field every day, and if you didn't eat the right meal, if you didn't get the right amount of sleep, if you didn't eat like the right meal portions, if you're not wearing the right equipment, you're not being aware of where your hands are all times, or like, you haven't read the scouting report 732 times, you're dead. Like, you do not have a shot. Like, every practice is like you're struggling not to drown. Like, it's awful. You cannot compete unless like every little detail. And like, baseball is a very every little detail kind of sport, right? And so, you know, I think some of the best managers are guys that fit that. Terry Francona, same kind of thing. Like, guys that are just, you get the occasional exception of the rule. Like, you know, Joe Torre was a pretty good hitter for a stretch in his career, and there's been some others, obviously. Like, Ted Williams was a debacle with the Washington Senators. Like, you know, it just is what it is. I feel like it's kind of the same thing in basketball too, man.
Yeah.
Dan was a guy that really struggled at Seton Hall, and like, for a variety of reasons that might not have been as much physical gifts, but you get, you know, just a lot of those guys, you know, and I don't know. Yeah. Mark DeRosa, like, nice utility player. Like, that's what he did. I don't know what makes him a coach. I don't know. What would you do to coach a team like this?
There's no coach. No teams needed.
You're literally, it's like giving you a coloring book. And it's like just a gigantic square, and it says, please just don't color outside the lines.
Yeah. Here's Paul.
He literally is filling out.
Here's Paul Skeens and Tarek Skubal with Aaron Judge hitting 3. Well, you know, what's he going to tell me?
The Boston Red Sox is hitting 7.
Yeah.
Like,
Roman Anthony's.
Yeah. So, like, it's impossible. I mean, look, that loss the other night, they hit like 5 or 6 bullets right at guys. Like, there was that jumbled catch in left center field where the center field whiffed on it and the left fielder backed them up and caught it. But like, neither one of them took good lines to the ball. There was just so many of those incidences where they should have scored runs or would have been ahead. It just wasn't. And, you know, Italy just kind of hung on for dear life and touched a guy up a little bit early. But yeah, I mean, you got to at least know the rules of the tournament. If you don't really have to coach your team, you should at least know what the rules of the tournament is, so you could, you know, be walking around the locker room and be like, hey guys, here's the scenario. Be helpful, you'd think. Maybe.
Yeah, apparently not. Actually, to bring it back to college basketball, the other example would be that Bobby Hurley's one of the greatest college players of the last 30 years. Well, I think he's an underrated coach, but now he's out at Arizona State, and God help us if he ends up at Providence. Because if you think the Hurley shit was bad before, can you imagine the sort of aura farming they're going to get out of that first matchup?
Yeah, I mean, look at Penny Hardaway. I mean, there's just plenty. There's
Gonna still coach.
Look at Patrick Ewing.
They're bringing him back. Penny's getting another year.
Yeah, they don't have the courage to do that. I don't know what else they're going to do. I mean, that's the only thing that kind of keeps them in the news. It's the scary thing for them. Like, your anchor is your most sellable asset at this point to keeping your name in a conversation in any kind of national setting. But yeah, I mean, it just is what it is. Like, give me a guy that has no idea what he's doing on a basketball court as a player that has to worry about that stuff, be detail oriented, and constantly be thinking about things other than the guy that's just like, yes, baseball, me hit, like we put orange ball in orange hoop. No, just no thanks.
A helpful monologue so I could rework the GIF and send it back to you, Hurley Mania.
Thank you. This worked perfectly. This is tremendous.
You are welcome. Boots on the ground, boys. Have a good night.
Boots on the ground. I'm telling you, it's looking more and more like we're going to get Georgetown tomorrow night.
Yeah, I'll give Lowercase credit in the Discord because he's got there's the thing you can install on your browser so that on the ESPN, if you want to really fucking nerd out, which I do, on the ESPN box score, it will replace the score with the 4 factors. Is that a you thing? Would you be into that? I can send you that. Georgetown is kicking Villanova's ass. It's a 5-point game, and the score is what matters, but Georgetown's kind of dominating this game right now, and it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Villanova cannot get free throws. Villanova's like UConn right now in terms of getting free throws, and Georgetown's just killing them on the inside. That didn't look good. Who just got hurt for Georgetown right when I said something nice? This is a power play at the other end. I think it's just his arm. Okay. But yeah, no, Georgetown looks pretty good right now. And Ed Cooley would love nothing more than to show that that he's actually making progress, having finished in last in his third year, than a run to Friday night.
Why not? And you can give one more great Ed talk tonight, and then one more tomorrow on a national stage. There's a lot going on in the world.
He's blessed. So many things for him to discuss. So many topics.
Yeah. What topic do you think he's going to bring up? He's got Iran. He's got AI. There's so many things we have not heard from him on yet. I can't wait to hear what his opinion is.
What if we did
exciting stuff?
What if we did a show that was him and Bruce Pearl, and they couldn't talk about basketball, and at the end of the show, everybody who watched it had to commit harikari.
That's what I want to do every time I hear him speak.
The two of them, but hey, he's doing us a solid right now, so we'll keep an eye on it. I don't know where you want to go next. We trailed way off. World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, no, we got Jake waiting in the wings. Jake, what do you got?
Oh, boots on ground.
Gentlemen, good evening from the bowels of Madison Square Garden. I talked to Terrace. That was fun. Not the most important thing that happened tonight, as Hurley Mania is aware.
God damn it! Did you really ask him about it?
Hot balls. I have an answer.
All right. Here we go.
To a question that we have wondered all season long.
All right, what's the question?
Has Eric Ryba introduced the UConn coaching staff to doner kebab?
Yeah.
No, he has not.
That's disappointing.
He said he was trying to at the FIBA U19s over the summer.
Yeah.
But it was either that the city they were in didn't have one, or it was closed at the time, or something. But
That's
he says
an excuse.
that he wants to introduce the coaching staff to it. He also says that he misses it, and that there is no good doner kebab around stores, which, I mean, shocking. Stores in Connecticut does not have good German food, so more at 11. But no, impressive performance. I mean, it's a time of year where momentum matters, and The thing that you really want with a game like this, after a loss like that, is a strong and dominant performance, which they did from beginning to end. You could potentially do the exact same thing again tomorrow against a Georgetown team that you blew out, or, if there's a magical comeback, a Villanova team that the last time you played them, you also blew them out, and then, they're also down a man. I believe since you played them, I believe they had Hodge when UConn played them last. So, it's important. Team looked really loose in warm-ups. Like, super, super loose, super flowy, looked really good. People were talking about the Alec Millender gif. Like, you kind of see firsthand, like, how much of a glue guy Alec Millender is. Like, everybody's talked about it before. Like, Dan's talked about it before. When you see it in person, you can see how much of a glue guy he is. Phenomenal. But yeah. No, that's pretty much everything I got. I'll see you guys later.
So glad we got the answer to the doner kebab thing that had been kind of eating at me for a while. Eating at me.
Yeah, Yeah.
Yeah.
Very well played. So, Jake, since your boots on ground all day, and please tell me you've been eating today. That would be a big step forward.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
Thank you.
I've figured that out.
What's your biggest takeaway from all the games you've watched so far? Maybe it's happening right now, I guess, but the UConn game was a pretty nondescript ass kicking. Any big takeaways you thought from the first two games you watched?
No.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. That's a fair answer.
That's my short answer. My short answer is no. My long answer is this is kind of what I expected. Right? None of these games have been particularly, I won't say they haven't been particularly entertaining, because it's the Big East tournament. They're always entertaining. The level always gets raised for the kids when they realize that they're all playing in the Garden, so it's very important. In terms of a box score, in terms of a final score, no. This is pretty much what we expected, which is sad, because there's one exception.
Yeah.
And I see that D-Gen is in here.
Thank you.
It breaks my heart. This should be the Paul putting belt to ass on Villanova.
It broke my fucking heart.
And I'm very sad that it isn't the case. Meanwhile, if you look around to the other tournaments, ACC tournament has been all over the place. Right now, Clemson's going to beat North Carolina. They're up 11 with about 14 minutes to go. Duke went down to the fucking wire against Florida State.
Who is one of the hottest teams in the country. I know it's a dog shit league, but they are.
And in the meantime, right, UConn beats Xavier by over 20. Right, if we just go ahead and we look at the schedule, right? Providence beats Butler by double digits. Xavier Marquette was a little bit close yesterday, but I can't say I was particularly shocked by Xavier winning that game, right? Marquette came in a bit hot, but Xavier's a better team than Marquette. I think we can all relatively agree on that. DePaul's a better team than Georgetown, but they didn't play like it last night, and right now Georgetown's playing like a better team than Villanova, even though they're not, right? And then, Providence got steamrolled by St. John's today. Seton Hall really looked like a much, much better team than Creighton did. And then UConn beat the crap out of Xavier. So now we're going to get an interesting down to the wire. It seems like it'll go down to the wire situation between Georgetown and Villanova. But my whole thing going into this tournament this week was that the Wednesday games were going to be, they were going to be fun for the sickos, right? Which is why we're all here. Thursday was going to be Thursday at the Big East tournament, right? Because even if it's a quote-unquote boring Thursday at the Big East tournament, it's still Thursday at the Big East tournament. But the big games are like the most entertaining games are going to be the final 3 games played. And so that seems like how it's basically going to work itself out. I don't love that in particular. But I don't know. It was funny. I was writing something about Creighton earlier today, and it was like, oh, they were second in the conference last year, and they were fifth. And on paper, going from second to fifth is nothing. But they went from second and being very much into the tournament to 15 and 17 and fifth. And when a 15 and 17 team is fifth in the conference, that's a problem. That's a problem. And it's a problem that might only be a thing this year, right? We'll see how everybody recruits. We'll see how everybody tackles the portal. But in terms of shocks, in terms of upsets, barring one result, and maybe another one in the final 15 minutes of this game, it's not really been like a shocking Big East tournament. It's been a fun Big East tournament, but it hasn't been particularly like edge of your seat.
It's chalky. Like, there's just like huge gap
chalk.
I think between 1 and 2 and everybody else, and I think you got a couple teams that have the moxie to play up to 1 or 2 level, 1 out of every 5 games, but you got them, and then there's just another. I mean, this whole thing below UConn and St. John's is gobbledygook this year. Although I do think Seton Hall is exhausting to deal with.
Yeah,
but
it's more mental. Like the mental game against Seton Hall is as tough as anything else. I think the gap from UConn and St. John's to everyone else is larger than the gap from Seton Hall and Villanova to everybody else below them.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
essentially.
Yeah. No, it's wide. And the funny thing about all of this is that whoever UConn plays for the final 4 teams that they play, there are teams that gave UConn fits. Like the Nova, the thing with Nova is that they played them at home and they went to overtime and everyone was fully healthy on Nova, and they're not anymore. And the last time that they did play them, they were still fully healthy and they still blew them out, right? The Georgetown games came down to the wire late. They went 1-1 against St. John's, and we all know how the 2 Seton Hall games went. So it's not going to be an easy like on paper. If you just look at the past results, it should not necessarily be easy and chalk for UConn. That said, if it is Georgetown, I expect them to blow out Georgetown. But who knows?
I mean, we've said that for 3 years. I still think they'll win comfortably, but it's almost it would. I really don't care what UConn's like seed, if it's a 1 or a 2 at this point. But like, if you want UConn to be a 1, it's got to be Villanova, right? At this point, like a Georgetown, because partially why I say that is the metric spread on Georgetown will be a number that they don't cover against anybody that isn't Xavier or St. John's at home when they're pissed off. So I would rather, in a way, that the Villanova game for the challenge of it to make sure everyone's engaged. But yes, it would obviously be much better in terms of a weaker opponent to be playing Georgetown. But we'll see where this goes right now. Nova's at the line to tie it with 13.5 to go as we record this.
Thank you, Jake. Appreciate it. All right. You got anything else tonight?
No, I'm pretty good. I know everybody else is resting up. We've done an hour 28. We did 4 on Saturday. So, an hour 28 tonight. If we want to keep these in that vicinity, that's probably for the best given what we've got in front of us here.
I think tomorrow night will be a much happier festive occasion.
Well, I hope this was a happy festive occasion. They won by 25. I feel great.
This was happy, but it was against a bum-ass Xavier team. Let's be honest.
Working like, hey, maybe it'll be against a bum-ass Georgetown team, and then Saturday, bring what you can swing, because that is, it has to be Saturday, right? They've got to. It'd be so unsatisfying if it ends any other way.
What? If they don't play St. John's?
If those 2 don't play Saturday, it'll be really.
I will laugh my ass off if it's us in Seton Hall. This tournament loves to do that. It loves to tease the game you should get, and then it gives you anything but.
Val finally puts over the team that needs to be put over the most this week.
Yeah.
With Brian O'Connell.
Remember, like in 22, it ended up like all that drama, and then it ended up being like Creighton and Villanova in the championship game. Last year it was like Johnny's and Creighton. That game was a war crime.
That was
such a bad basketball game.
We were all mad because we weren't in it, and then the game was so shitty, and like, yeah. Actually, the Marquette one the year before might have been the same way too.
Was that Marquette and Xavier that year, or was it Marquette
and Creighton? That one was really bad. Where Marquette and UConn, just nobody scored for the last 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Which just...
That was a tough one to swallow. Marquette fans were irritating in the Garden that night.
I have a fun piece of news for you. We'll see if it actually ends up being true.
Uh-oh.
Tanner McGrath, the lead editor for college basketball at Action Network, is saying that his sources are saying that the Big 12 is going to pull the court because too many guys are slipping on it. Who would have fucking thought? That monstrosity will never be Madison Square Garden. I don't care how many Final Four teams are in it. I don't care if it's good for us for football and money. You will drag me out of the Big East tournament with fucking limbs falling off of me.
No, totally. I get it. If we end up there, I totally get it. They'll never say goodbye to anything like the Big East tournament ever again.
It's the last good sporting event this country fucking has at this point, because they're about to ruin the NCAA tournament. They can't wait. They want to add 8 more teams to this shit.
I know.
Do you know what the bubble would look like with 8 more?
I know.
I'm actually going to pull up bracket matrix now. 8 more.
So they've had one pulled groin. Half the players hate playing on it.
It's giving them seizures.
Yeah. My God, dude, watching it is brutal. It is so just bad. It's like watching like a Fox News, CNN broadcast with more shit on the screen. It's monochrome as fuck, and everyone's like, "Oh, they light up the 3-point line when someone makes a 3." Really? Well, thank God we've solved that need that we've had for 50 years. That's what this was for. My favorite part of this, though, by the way, has been the media coverage of being like, "Well, the studies say." Yeah. Phillips Morris. Step right up. Smoking's not bad for you, and it's healthy for you. It's like, we did studies. I bet you did, buddy. I bet you did. We're playing on a fucking Android right now, and we're like, come on. Oh, it's totally safe. Sure.
You know why it has to be
Titanic's an unsinkable ship. I cannot wait until it cracks. It has to crack. That's the only way that it can go out, is that it cracks. It was awesome enough that a couple of the panels went out. Imagine that. A bunch of 6'6" human being, 200-pound plus human beings jumping up and down like a bunch of wild animals on a glorified iPhone was gonna knock some panels out. Could not imagine that. We're just banging a ball off of it relentlessly all the time.
Yeah, I love FIBA uses it. Yeah, well, FIBA doesn't have Flory Badunga jumping up and down on it. Like, come on.
FIBA uses that.
Guys are just in a 3-point shooting contest. Here, these guys are banging on the inside with the Arizona bigs. It's a little different. And you know why it had to be a dark court? It's the same awful one like they had when it was Wood last year. Yeah. Because if it wasn't dark, it would just be blinding. So instead of thinking maybe we don't need this, they said, well, we'll just make it a dark court.
This whole country, every crevice of it, from the government to businesses to tech to industry, is run by fucking morons. We are absolutely overrun by idiots. Anybody with half a brain cell would have been able to tell you this is a stupid idea. And I'll guarantee you, your Mark's going to get back to his office this week, and he's going to freaking spark up a cheap cigar in his office. Like, you genius bastard, you. Look at all the headlines you got. That's how he's going to measure success to himself.
Yeah, it's awful. And the other thing is, when you do
I wish somebody
when you
hacked
do
it.
when you do the 3-box that I was doing the multi-view on the ESPN app, like, and I don't like giving the ACC credit for anything, or the SEC, which the SEC notably puts almost nothing on their court. There's no ads. The conference with the most money didn't need another $1 million to put a fucking Windex ad on it. Like, it was the 3-box. I had the ACC, the SEC, and the Big 12 on. The ACC and the SEC have courts like the Big East, bright, beautiful. It's actually a pretty plain court, right? But a brown court, a normal looking court. And it looks so much better to look at on TV when next to it you have this fucking gray monochrome shit in Kansas City with fucking Cincinnati, who's wearing black jerseys, playing UCF, who also wears black and white on a black and white court. It just visually looks like shit. Like, why would I want to watch this?
I know.
I would rather watch dog shit ACC teams because I'm not going to have a seizure staring at the TV. Did Abby request, because Abby is begging me to let her in to talk about the court.
She's here.
I also saw that some of the players said that the court is hot to the touch because the light bulbs, after it's on all day, it warms up. Like, I like the dumbest shit imaginable.
Yeah, because when FIBA plays on it, they don't have 5 games in 12 hours, 4 games in 12 hours. And that's a point to Megan. My original argument with it was, well, they're LEDs. They don't emit a lot of heat. And she said, well, they don't emit no heat, though. So, yeah, Abby, it's so predictably stupid. It was all so foreseeable. And you can see the seams the entire time in it. So it just looks like shit because there's just seams everywhere. Because it's like plugging a bunch of TVs panels together. It's so stupid. And my whole thing the whole time is like, are we sure it's measured? Even the lines are right? I think they're right. But like, when they put a regular court down, they had to paint the lines. And we saw, was it 2 years ago, Abby, in the NCAA women's tournament? They don't always get that right.
Yeah, it turns out no. And I will also point out that the Big 12 women complained about the court last week. So even though we all saw it coming.
Yeah, well, to the surprise of no one, the concerns of the women's basketball players were ignored when they should have been taken at face value.
The whole
Abby,
thing.
I have to bring Abby in for another reason.
Oh, it's a great day.
Talk your shit.
All that, and you fucking can't even win one game in your state against UMass of all places. Hope it was fun.
Losing to UMass is just pitch perfect funny.
Sorry for your Bobcats. Their season ended, but it was still one of the great days of your season. So I'm glad you got that. And we'll see where they go.
We'll see what happens. Before that happened, the text from you to check CBS bracketology was pretty fun, but
if UConn had the opportunity to play Miami of Ohio in the second round, I think this woman would have crawled over hot coals to be in the building for that.
Yeah, even if they put it on the shitty, insane LED court.
Even if somehow UConn had to go to San Diego for that game, you would walk there.
Yes, if I had to.
Please tell me you saw the picture that they had of the court for the 2027 Big 12 tournament. They have AJ DeBanza dribble driving on a guy, except it's in like a foot of water. I just retweeted it.
Okay, I'll go
it's
look
incredible.
It's
exactly the way it should be done.
By the way, Villanova is imploding here. This is great. That's very good. Yeah, that's the other thing. For all the issues with it, people are slipping on it. Like, that's the other thing. It's very America 2026. It's a non-existent problem that did not need a solution. We've been playing basketball on wooden courts for 100 years, and I think everybody broadly is fine with it. What if we just kept doing that?
Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormark wants the conference tournament court to make a profound statement. The floor's 12 logo pattern has sparked mixed reaction, and so have player concerns about slipping on the floor, but Yormark isn't backing down. Quote, "That's exactly what we're looking for."
They have so many superstar players. I hope it doesn't happen. Imagine AJ DeBance's ACL exploded on that stupid shit.
Yep. Yeah, I know. Just whatever.
Oh, breaking news. We have Kansas State has hired Belmont's coach.
That's a good
this
hire.
is the wrong space. This is the wrong space for that, Abby. Sorry. Yeah, no, it's a good hire. He's really good. And I'm excited to see where Bobby goes. It is kind of UConn related. Matt Norlander asked Bobby Hurley. He said he would not be an assistant for Dan because he just doesn't want to be an assistant anywhere right now. So we're not going to get the two Hurleys on the bench stream if Kamani or Luke or Mike even get a job here. So we can rule out that completely psychotic idea of these two dingbats trying to co-coach. Can you imagine if you're
by the way, shout out to Tobin Anderson, by the way, getting the job at Tennessee Tech today. That's phenomenal hire. Outstanding hire. College basketball's favorite autist. Finally has his paints back. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, thrilled for him. Yeah, so can you imagine being Luke or Kamani, the one that doesn't get the job and has to stick around as we bring fucking Bobby Hurley to coach with Dan?
Luke's getting a lot of noise at Syracuse, by the way.
He is. I
want to throw up if that happens.
I am, but I'm also in the position, I actually want them both to get head coaching jobs. I know we want this all to stay here forever, but I can't even be that greedy, right? It's like wanting guys to stay when they're an NBA lottery projection. I can't be that much of a greedy asshole. I hope that they don't have to live in that hellhole, but it'd be a hell of a first job to have for either of them. We'll see what Syracuse does. I just love that Jim Boeheim is just trying to fuck this whole thing up. It's so helpful that he's trying to carry water for Red and try and get Jerry McNamara there. Please hire Jerry McNamara. Please, Syracuse, please do that. He's done a really good job at Siena, but please make that mistake.
You'll never hear from them again.
Georgetown by 10. Jesus Christ.
Ed is feeling himself on the sideline.
I'll tell you what this is really good for, Hot Balls.
Oh,
if you haven't bought the usually expensive Friday ticket, this would help the price.
See, the three worst are always Seton Hall and St. John's. Right. Providence and Villanova and any of those combos is bad too, but those are the three horsemen of the apocalypse for ticket prices for the semifinals.
Has Villanova ever gotten a rebound? Ever, as an institution?
Not sure. I'm still just doom scrolling, by the way, through Big 12 court images.
That's fine. This is the sort of loss, Villanova's still in, but this would be like a 2-3 seed line loss possibly for them. Kind of a mess, but
yeah, they're going to be one and done in the tournament, big time. I mean, they're dead,
which is fine. It's first year for Kevin.
Yep.
But no, just great that UConn was able to get back jump into the pool here in our favorite sporting event of the year, and they jump right back into the pool tomorrow night. Apparently, possibly against Georgetown at 8 p.m. on FS1. Excited to go check it out. Be there. So you're
just gonna go check it out?
No, check it out.
Check it out.
I'll be at the first game too. Turn on the news with this country rapidly spiraling and every sport going to hell. It's the last good sporting event we've got. And I don't know how long we're going to be in it. So I'm just going to enjoy the hell out of tomorrow. Tomorrow isn't promised, right? So I'm just trying to, even when the league is down this year, really appreciate what we got. And, things like tonight, it's a testament to how these guys have built the program that, a 25-point win in the Big East tournament as the 2 seed, the 6th straight trip to the semifinal. That's hard to do. And credit to them. And hopefully tonight is the catapult for tomorrow night into Saturday. And we can all just look back at last Saturday and laugh about it eventually. Just like we could laugh about the Creighton loss after St. John's. So.
Nothing fixes those feelings like a couple of wins. By the way, UNC getting racked right now by Clemson.
Yeah, the biggest thing for UConn this week, no injuries, please. I don't know what the deal is with Jalen rather. They say hopefully the NCAA tournament. I mean, at this point, we were told tendonitis, and here we are 3 weeks later. So we'll see. But yeah, the injuries ravaging Carolina. friggin' ravaging. It's ravaged Kansas for a lot of this year. Texas Tech looks like we all thought they might. Duke dealing with injuries. So pray for health more than anything else over these next couple of weeks here. And hopefully a long run is in store. And if they play like tonight, a long run will be in store. Can they do it again? Tune in tomorrow to find out.
You never know. That's the excitement of the season. You just don't know what you're going to get game to game. So tune in tomorrow to find out. And we will be with you after the game. I don't know when.
Yeah, I have no idea. Oh,
I don't know how.
I know we're trying to end. I want to shout out the UConn women's hockey team real quick. They got their first ever NCAA tournament win tonight. It was at the exact same time as the men's basketball game.
Oh, yeah.
Which sucks, but great for the women's hockey team. They had an amazing win last Saturday when we were all pissed about Marquette. The women's hockey team won Hockey East in double OT. And then tonight they went and out at Penn State, they beat Princeton wearing the ugliest hockey jerseys I have ever seen. Go look up the Princeton women's hockey jerseys. They are grotesque. So the UConn women's hockey team, they will play for a spot in their first Frozen Four Saturday against Penn State at Penn State. And let me tell you from personal experience, it can only go better for them than it did for the men last year. So I want to shout out Chris McKenzie and the women's hockey team. They're amazing. Their game is 2:00 on Saturday. Same time opposite the men's hockey game, but it's before hopefully a Big East championship game. So if you're waiting for UConn St. John's, hopefully get 2 TVs up. You can watch me being pissed off at the men on one at 1:00, and the women's hockey team plays Penn State at 2:00. Those are both on ESPN Plus Saturday. Shouts to Tia Chan and the whole team. Amazing what they're doing. So tip of the cap to them. But we will be back with you tomorrow night. Eventually, hot balls. I don't know when. I have absolutely no idea.
Maybe you should bring your equipment, put it in a Foot Locker somewhere in the middle of New York City, and then pick it up so you can do it on the train.
I might have to ask our friend Jake for a favor here, because I'm not going to be able to get a microphone into MSG, but I know who can.
There you go.
We will see. I'll see what I can do.
As I'm a complete friggin' weirdo in the back of a New Haven Metro North train at 1 a.m. holding this big, because you remember the Florida thing. It'll be that.
Dona. Stanford. Next stop.
Bing, boom. And then just me with this giant, not giant, but holding the microphone.
You got to bring the whole boom and everything. You got to get the whole setup in the back of the train. You got to have the boom mic on the little safety handle there. You got to go all out. Go hard or go home.
It's going to be tough with the signal. Maybe instead of taking callers, apologies to the listeners, I just wander through the train and just ask people their thoughts.
Sitting in the space between the doors on the train.
That's actually not the worst idea I've ever had. I might, because the train will be all UConn people anyway. I just start going to people, hey, what do you think? What's up? Don't ask what this is. What do you think?
Maybe we do like a straight talk. You know what I mean? We just we go around. We interview the men on the men and the women on the street.
I know the guy who does the interviews on the subway sues us for like copyright infringement. I'm not talking into a Metro card. They don't even use those anymore.
Joe Byron.
Maybe I'll run into the side talk guys.
That's what I'm saying. That's what you could do. You could do like our own Spaces side talk. Just be chaos for 2 hours if we win. Could get pretty ugly if we lose.
Oh, it'd be a deep, dark place. We're not going to have to worry about it. We're going to watch, Cody's listening. We're going to watch Seton Hall do the funniest thing ever at 5:30 and win 45-44. And then UConn's going to beat Georgetown, who will surely hold on to this 8-point lead with 7 minutes to go. There's no way they could possibly fuck this up.
We could maybe have our first Spaces train switch. You know, you switching over at New Haven, just bringing the whole mobile setup. You could wear like a backpack. You could have the boom mic go over your head and like into your face.
I'm not going to do that.
If you're just talking to your phone, you bozo. Like
That's
we did
what I
for
was going to do.
years.
That's all I was...
Do that.
Christ. Jesus, they're up 14. Oh my God.
Plenty of time to blow it.
Georgetown is moving like a tremendous machine. You never know what's going to happen at the Big East tournament, except that DePaul's never going to play on Friday, and it makes me sad.
Damn it.
Sorry, Deidre. That's
This game finally moved to the 4 factors, so that's all you need to know, folks. All right, we'll see everybody tomorrow for UConn and Georgetown. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe, wait, before we go.
No, what?
An important message. An important message, looks like from Postradamus, who may have mistakenly requested in.
So I'm here, booth on the ground, Hoya Saxa. I don't know what is going on, but we Ed Cooley may get a win tonight, and I don't know what's going on, but this shit's wild.
The best thing about it will be how angry the St. John's fans are that UConn plays the 10 and the 11 while they have to go through Providence and Seton Hall.
Penfield and I were talking the entire night. It was like, well, like obviously with no Hodges, they can't rebound, and they couldn't make a three to save their life. So like the two worst things that could happen, like have, and then Georgetown makes a couple threes. We have one young lad in front of us with an Allen Iverson jersey. He's got he's got a quarter zip on. He's got a fucking button down and a fucking Allen Iverson jersey. Yeah, it's wild. Yeah, it
must be hard for him choosing between his two favorite teams.
Yeah, it's so that's all we have here with the Posty Penfield news update. So on with your show.
Live at the midfield, reporting for Connecticut Basketball Spaces.
Oh my God! They're up by 14. This is bananas. All right, I'll as you were. I'll talk to y'all later.
Thank you. We'll break into regular programming as the situation warrants.
Bracking news. Bracking news.
Boots on ground. That's the theme of tonight's show. Boots on ground. And
we still somehow almost got this to 2 hours. What the fuck?
I know. It's pretty disgraceful.
What a preposterous waste of time this show is.
I actually stopped the stopwatch because I thought we were done. Because I finally shut the fuck up. So I thought that has to be it. So, all right, I'm going to bed.
I am going to bed too. Everybody get your rest. Tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow. Where it looks like we're going to have Georgetown. Just saying that to jinx it. And we'll be with you after the game. I don't know how this is going to work, folks, but we will be with you. Either way, I'll probably be drinking beer, so it could be bad. It could be a train wreck. It could be any number of things, but what it will be is a show.
Hopefully not a literal train wreck.
It could be a literal train. You never know. You never know in America these days. So, we'll be back at you live after the Big East semifinals, to recap all things. And, hopefully, we have a favorable outcome and, might be making a trip back to the Big East championship game, to face, somebody on Saturday. So until then, folks, get your sleep, everybody. And, we'll see you tomorrow. Keep in touch with yourselves. Good night, everybody. Bye.